Is Friday, February 17th, 2012. WX Live webinar number 11B with Victoria from Europe or South America, whatever you want to say. Anyway, she's here to continue her sojourn on walking us through really key things in WX. So here you go, Victoria. It's all yours.
Okay, hello again. So today I want to continue with diving a little bit more into the IDE, talking about some other nice features. So today I wanna talk about the analysis. The analysis in WebDev is like the dictionary in Clarion, but better. And in the analysis, you have, of course, all the description of all your data files or your tables. And the good thing is you can have the analysis integrated inside of your project. And you can share, of course, the same analysis with several projects, not only in WinDev, but also in WebDev or in WinDev Mobile. I mean, the same analysis could be used in any of the three kind of projects. So we'll go to and I will show you. In my configuration, I have access to the analysis here, in this pane right, and I just have to double click here to open the analysis. In the analysis, we can basically create and maintain the tables and also the links and the relationship between the tables. And we can also define rules, for example, for deleting or modifying the records. Just
So do you have to open up a project before you can go to the analysis, or can you go straight to the analysis without opening up the project?
No, I think you can open the analysis from outside. If you double click, you can open up the analysis.
Like file open analysis or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
But normally I do it from inside of the project.
Okay.
Yeah. But the good thing is you always have here in the analysis pane, you have all the structure of your tables, and you can see the name of the table, you can see the name of the fields, and if you go over you put over the mouse, you can see, for example, the data type of each field.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Can you add to open up that you know how like in Clarion we can say show me this and this. You can only do it via the tooltip, huh?
What do you
Data
mean?
type. Well, the data type string size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it like this. And if you need to use, for example, in your code, you need to use the name of any of the fields, and you can just drag and drop the field like
From the analysis. Okay.
yeah, exactly. And you have the name, the complete name, the name of the table, that is like the prefix that we have in Clarion. But here we use the whole name of the table and then one dot and the name of the field. So that is easy. I think it's nice because you can see actually all the tables and the fields and you don't have to, like in Clarion, you have to close the application and go to the dictionary if you want to see something.
Actually,
Well,
in
at least
Clarion,
in version 6.
yeah, Clarion 8, you pretty much have the same kind of stuff now, and you
Okay.
can actually, yeah. So
Yeah.
people will be
That,
more open to this way of doing it because it's actually better, both, more modern,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. And more practical. Of course.
Yep.
So basically, what you have to do if you want to insert a new data file is just go here, insert, and add data file, and you have to tell the analysis which kind of data file will be, which kind of connection, which kind of driver, like in Clarion, basically. I will not talk about the analysis completely because there are a lot of things we can talk about the analysis. It will take me 1 or 2 hours, of course, but just I want to give you an overview of how it looks and how it is the analysis. But basically what you can do is just define tables and define the relationships between the tables. One good thing is if you select the relationship here, you can see which are the fields involved in the relationship. Can you see it?
Yeah, and it shows you the way it's constrained together too, doesn't it?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
cardinality, I guess they call it
The
cardinality.
cardinality, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, you can. Yeah, actually, you can see the cardinality here,
yeah.
right here in the arrow. And if you double click, of course, you can change, or you can see how it's done the relationship.
Yeah, the concept book
And
has a good explanation of that. It's really
mhm,
well done.
yes, yes, exactly. And you also have constraint rules for delete and for modification, like we have in Clarion, actually. So also from the analysis, you can generate the scripts. If you are using SQL, for example, you can generate the SQL script right from the analysis. And one thing you have to keep in mind is every time you change something in the analysis, let's say you change the name of a table, or you add a new field, or you change the name of the field, or whatever, you have to go here and generate the analysis. And that means that all the changes that you have done in the analysis, they will be automatically they will be included in the whole project. So if you add a new field and you don't generate the analysis, then when you go to the code, you're probably you will not be able to use that field because the project can't see that the new field. So
Oh,
um,
okay. So
yeah, because
the red flag is kind of like a F turning on FM3 to the new changes or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's to apply the new changes. It's also because in the analysis you have we have different versions. You
Hmm.
you can see actually the versions of the analysis, and
Oh yeah, look at that.
you can see when it was created and when it was changed. And if you want, you can go back to any of the versions that here, for example, you can see that from version 5 to 6, there was just only one modification. But from version 6 to 7, there were 3 modifications, or
Oh,
more
look
than
at
two,
that.
more than two, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Very
And
graphical. Yeah, that's good.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So you can restore to a previous version if you want, or if you need to. Yeah. And in the fields or items, they call it items of each table, you have, of course, the data type here is also graphical, the size, and you can define any of the fields as a key if you want. And you can set also null values. If you, for example, you have one of the fields that you want to set as a null, when you insert a new record, you can do it
Oh,
here.
make them all nulls, huh? Okay.
Yeah. And then when you make an add, the record, then that field could be null or could have a 0 or any value that you set here.
Initial value.
Actually.
Okay.
Yeah. You also have a keys here. I mean, in the same structure. And, but
Oh,
if you
those are
have a
keys with the double.
yeah, this means it is a unique key, and this means that it's a key with duplicated actually.
Okay, so that's just regular keys versus the composite key, or what?
These are regular key, but if you want to build create a composite key, you have to go here
Okay.
and just select, say, this one, for example. Then you can see here the icon is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here you have actually the fields that belong to the key.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. And you also can define, for example, for each field, you have here the possibility to write the translation. If you have a project with a multi-language project, you can make the translation also here in the analysis. And even more, if you click here below, you have all the properties of the field, which actually here what you have is the properties of the control, because this field, it will become in a control in a window or in a page probably. So here you can define the caption, for example, the data type, the mask, which is the picture, and some other details.
Wow, you have so you have multi-language for like caption, names, description, right? Or wow,
Yeah,
multiple things.
this is the same. This is the 7 tab uh, approach that
Oh,
they
that
have
goes.
in WinDev, and you also have this. You when you have a page or you have a window, and you want to change the property of any of the control, basically the window is the same like this one. So, I mean, you can define all these properties from the analysis. I mean, from the beginning of the project, if you are building a new project and you define the analysis, then you can do all this setup just right from the analysis. And then every time you use this field or this field in any page or any window, you will have always the same setup, the same properties, basically.
So, Victoria, if I were to put all the language thing in after, say I already started my project and now I want to add 2 more languages, if I come here and do it, will it translate to the project? Or do I have to do this before I start the project?
Uh, no, I think if you I think if you have a linked, if you let's say you have a window, and in that window you have used, for example, the name of the customer, and you have linked to your control this field, then it will take all the changes.
Yeah, maybe that red flag will pull it over, right? When um,
Which red?
generate the analysis flag when you click
Yeah,
on that.
probably. Yeah,
That
probably,
probably
probably.
brings it over.
Because
Okay.
every time you change something, like I said before, the name, for example, of the field or the data type or something, and you
Yeah.
generate, then the IDE is smart enough to know that he has to apply all those changes in all the places of the project where you have you made reference to these fields, and that is because this is synchronizing the project, that is asking me if I want to synchronize the project, because it can see that I have made some modifications. So
Yeah, to
they,
the
yeah,
analysis. Okay.
and then
Yeah.
you will see all the changes in that.
Yeah, because I think I want to do them all over there if I can,
Mm-hmm.
instead of looking through every window, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah. That's it. Yeah. And yesterday we talked a little bit about the skin templates, and what I said yesterday is the skin templates is used to just to define the appearance or the style of the whole application.
Is this for both WebDev and
Yes,
WinDev?
yes,
The skin thing?
you have here
Oh, okay.
the style.
Okay,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
choose the skin, and you also have a palette. But this palette color is something they introduced in version 15. This didn't exist in version 14, so that's something new. And you can use the palette, the color palette they have defined here, or you can create your own, of course. Yeah. And yesterday we also talked about the multi-language support, and I think I have said we can use until 64 languages in our projects now from version 16, and you can translate, of course, everything, uh, the pages, the windows, the reports, the user message, the error message, and actually I want to show you how to translate message because we didn't talk about. But for example, let's say I want to show a message. Um,
Info equals Clarion message. Right.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
This is a test message. And of course, this is just right in the default language of the project. So if I want to translate this from the editor, I just have to press Control T. And well,
Control T as in Tom.
Control T, yeah, then you have access to this little window where you can
Translate.
translate.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think I only have, just let me see, because I only have one. It's not a good example. Yeah, we need to add another language.
Spanish. Ooh.
And this one, the one with the number one, this is the default language
Okay.
on runtime, at runtime, right?
Okay. Oh, they want something?
Yeah, because I'm using the source code manager, so every time I make a change, it's updating the database, the source code management database. So it's a little bit annoying sometimes.
But it could save your life, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Let's see now if it's working. Yeah. So now you can see this little window where you can enter the text in all the language supported.
So you don't need quotes there, you just type it in, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Could you
it. And
put
then
variables?
now
Could you
you can
put
see.
global variables in there? In the
What do you mean?
language part? Could it be variabilized or it has to be pure string text in there?
Yeah, no, you can also you can. I, I mean, I think you mean concatenate the message with a variable, something like that.
Oh, you can do it in the info, but in the translate itself, it's just a string, right? Of
Yeah, you, for example, then you can say, I'm not sure if that's what you.
no, I meant I mean in the translate screen. Yeah. You have
Here,
a good.
no,
Yeah.
I don't think because this is just text.
Yeah. Just pure
For
text. Okay.
yeah, it's just a text
Okay.
there. But if you want, if you need to have some variable text inside of the message, for example, you can do it like this, and then just
Change it that way.
yeah, and
Segundo.
right. So. What else? Then the testing of the windows or the pages is also interesting because you can do it individually. So you don't need to compile the whole application and run the application from the beginning, like in Clarion. Because every time you want to see how a Windows looks in Clarion, you have to compile everything and then run the application, and you need to have all the DLS compiled, the exe file, and so on. But here in WinDev, you can test individually each page or each window if you want. Just have to go here, and well, in this case, since we are working with a web application, we can choose which kind of browser we want to use for the test. And
have you found any difference running it between the different?
difference between the browsers, yeah, sometimes you find some difference, of course. Sometimes you can fix that with some kind of code or something, or sometimes it's a little more difficult. Normally, I test my application with Internet Explorer because most of our customers use Internet Explorer. I don't use Internet Explorer. I use Chrome normally or Firefox, but by default, I have to test the application in Internet Explorer and then in Firefox and Chrome. And sometimes you find some
Well, in
difference.
Firefox you have Firebug, so do you use that, or is there a similar thing inside of this environment to do your
No, you
tracing?
don't. No, you don't have something like that. Of course, you have the bug, but it's another kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No. Well, I don't know. Mm.
You
Yes,
sure?
because I have changed the yeah.
Yeah, you're showing us debugging now, right?
I have changed the table when
Oh, the
I
key. Oh, the
when yeah
key.
exactly when I
Yeah.
add a new key, then you have to convert
Yeah.
the
Take that bad boy out.
yeah.
Sorry about that. I should have messed you up
No,
there.
no problem. And then you have to yeah, you need to, if you are using hyperfile SQL, you have to convert the table. It's like the error 47 in Clarion, you have to convert the table, but I just forgot that. Yeah, and go, yeah.
There you go.
So I can just test this page without having to start from the beginning, from the login and blah, blah, blah. Just test this and that's it. So, and then I just want to make a reference about the RAD and the read, because some people they don't know actually the WINDEV and WebDev have a RAD, rapid application development, and also read. Read
Excuse me.
means yeah.
Chris asks, he says, what happens at the client site with an analysis change? Well, that'd be more desktop than.
In desktop, yeah, you have to. In that case, when you make the deployment, you create you create a deployment from WinDev. You have an option when you create a setup actually where you can set how are you going to convert the structure of the file. You can make
So,
the application actually the setup can make an automatic conversion of the structure.
so there's a built-in FM2, FM3.
Yeah, you have in the setup.
Oh, that's good.
And yeah, Yeah, actually, I use it in my mobile applications every time I change. Yes,
It's all built
and
in.
it works fine.
Nice.
Yeah, it's all built in. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's really good.
No wonder you smile so much.
Yeah, I'm really happy. So, what I was saying is that in WinDev and WebDev we have the RAD and the read. The RAD, of course, is the same concept like in Clarion, is rapid application development. And the read, it's something a little bit different. Read means rapid interface development. So basically, we can create blank windows or blank pages, or we can create windows of pages based on wizards, like in Clarion. It's basically the same. So, for example, when you go here and say new, and you want to create a new page, you can create a page, an internal page, or you can create a page based on the RAD, and you have the dynamic RAD, the semi-dynamic RAD, and also the read. And the thing is, if you create a RAD window, for example, or a RAD page, this page is based on the data of the file that you have described in the analysis, of course. And the wizard create the page and add all the code that you require to work or to operate with the table. It is basically like in and it also use the skin template automatically according what the one you have chosen in your project. And the difference with the read is the read create the page or create the window, but doesn't add the code. You have to add the code by yourself. So you will end up with a window with all the nice controls in the window, but then you need to add the code by yourself. So that's basically but
So when would
yeah.
you use the RID? The RID is just for prototyping, or
Hmm.
why would you even use the RID then?
Yeah, that's a good question. I never use it.
Okay,
I have never used it.
but it's there
Um,
for somebody to use if they want it.
yeah, yeah. I think it might be if you just want to control the code by yourself. I think.
Oh, to
Yeah.
just get you going, right? To get you started. And
And when you create a page, actually you have the possibility to choose a blank page. You can base your new page on the template that you have in the project. Normally, in all my projects, uh, I create new page template with different looks, different options, look and feels. So, for example, here in this project, I have two. I have this one and I have this one. So if I create a new page, I can base my page in one of these two if I want to. So I have a new page with the look that I have here in my page template. This is the one from, this is the default from WebDev, and this is my uh, web page template. So another good thing we have in the IDE is the possibility to have all the queries inside of the project tree. And that means that if we have all the queries here, we can use the queries in our code, or we can base our queries to create the browsers, for example, or the reports. So this is just click and say query, and then you can decide which kind of query you want to create. If you want to create a query, normal select, or if you want to enter the SQL code by yourself, normally use this option because it's more easy for me. Normally what I do is I test my queries. I write and test my queries on SQL Manager, for example, and once I know the query is working as I want it, I just created a SQL query and I paste the code, and that's it. I have my query run away. You can also create inserts, unions, updates, or deletes. And let me show you in one of my projects, the biggest one I have. As you can see, I have many queries. And
Well, you jump between all kinds of versions. You got 14 and 16.
yeah, because I have now, just a few months ago, I started a new project in 16, but I still have my old projects in version 14, and I still have to convert all those projects. So I'm working with the two versions now at the same time. So if we want, we can see the code, the SQL code. Show you. This is a simple query, and one interesting thing in the queries is that you can add parameters. For example, normally in all my work classes, I use different parameters, and the good thing in these parameters is before I execute, before I run the query to get some kind of result, I can pass to the query these parameters. But the good thing is I don't need to pass all the parameters. I just need to pass the parameters that I need to. And the other one could be null. So, for example, let's say that I need to use the same query in 2 or 3 or 4 different places in my project. I don't need to write the query 2, 3, or 4 times. I just use the same query, and in the different places where I use this query, I send different parameters to the same query, and this is what I mean.
So you went in there and added those variables, right?
Yeah.
To populate your query.
Yeah, this values between these, how do you call it? They are not brackets. They are
braces. Braces. They call it
braces.
braces.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That means those are parameters, right? So yeah, when I need to use my query here, somewhere here, for example, I just write the name of the query, the name of the parameter, and here this is the value of the parameter. But if it's some of the parameters, I don't need to use them. I just have to put here null instead of the parameter, and then the program knows that I don't want to use that one.
Oh, kind of like an optional nothing.
It will be like if in this query I don't have actually this, for example. So that's what I meant before. You don't have to write the same query 2 or 3 different times. I mean, let's say this part of the query is always the same, but the where is different in each procedure.
Yeah, your filter, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. My filters are different, so then I can use the same query in the number of times that I need to, and I just have to pass the parameters that I need to pass, and the other one could be null. So in this kind of project, for example, that was really useful, because
Yeah,
some
that's
of
really.
some of these query I have to use them many times, and every time I need to use the same query, I was wondering, okay, should I create a new query, or can I modify the old one, add one parameter, and then set the parameter in null when I don't need it? And that's actually how I did it, and it was really easy. And
But Carlos is asking a question. He says,
yeah,
Victoria, do you have queries where you combined a SQL syntax with the WinDev function or language?
no, no. Normally I use the SQL syntax. Normally I use SQL syntax, and when I execute the query here, I have
SQL
this option.
SQL, right?
Yeah,
Use,
yeah,
yeah, pure
exactly.
SQL,
Pure
except for the
SQL, yes, yes.
variables.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because actually, I don't know how it's going to behave if I use some of the functions, some of the WLanguage function inside of my query. I don't know how it will work if tomorrow I have to use, I don't know, Oracle or MySQL or whatever. I don't know. So I prefer to use the how do you call it, the basic functions, or the basic SQL code. Actually, I use sum, for example, but I don't use the WLanguage sum, because I don't know how it's going to work. So that's the question. The code bricks are common from project to project. That is the question, or
I think just somebody's talking. Rob's
ah,
just
okay,
talking.
okay. Yeah, actually, the code bricks, you can access the code bricks to any project, because the code bricks, which I don't have here. Let me see. The code bricks is something that you create, and it's something that is attached to the IDE, not to the project. So you can use the code bricks in any of your projects. And in version 14, for example, I have you can see the difference between the my code bricks, the one I have created, the user code bricks, and the one from WinDev. They have different colors. The black one, those are my.
Oh. So there's some native ones that come in.
Yeah, and this
And
is
then,
something that I told you yesterday that I couldn't show you, actually, that you can in the code in the code of the brick code, you can set some parameters, like, for example, the name of the table. So if I want to use this,
it'll pop up the wizard to fill it in, right?
yeah, exactly, the wizard pop up, and then it will ask you for the name of the table, uh, uh, the index, the name of the field, or whatever. You have the list of parameters here.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's something cool. And actually, I have to export the code bricks from version 14 to version 16, which I didn't do it yet. Um, um, what else? In the query, we have actually a query editor. I normally don't use it, because for me it's more easy to write the query and test the query in SQL Manager, but we can use, I will go to 16. If we create a new query, actually we have this query editor, which is really nice. It has a lot of options, so you can just double click on the fields that you want to add. You can set up the sort, you can set up the count, select the condition that this is the where, add a average, maximum, minimum, anything. In here you can see the query code in everyday language, and here you can see the code in SQL code.
Oh, nice.
This is how it looks, the code. And once that you, yeah, yes, what do you want to say?
Nope, they're good.
Okay.
They're just typing away.
So once you validate the query, you can see how the query was automatically joined, because we already have the relationship in the analysis, of course. And if you want, you can see the code, the SQL code. You have this showing with the simple word. And we actually have the reverse engineer. So even if I write the code of the query, I can apply this option, and then the IDE will generate the query visually, like we have here, based on the code that I wrote manually. So we can do it in both ways. We can do it like this, and then go to the code and change the code if we want to. Or we can write the code manually and then generate the structure.
So you can do it graphically or
yeah,
verbally.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So does it actually create like inner joins and stuff like that if you have the relationships right?
Yes, yes, and I think you can change here. Actually, if you don't want to do it like this and you want to use a left outer shun, if you need to, you can do it like this. Yeah, here you
Yeah,
have the
left
left
outer join. Yeah.
outer join.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's one way to learn it, huh?
And you can test the query from here on the query test. See?
Did we mess it up with the outer join?
Not sure. It's trying to save the query or something.
It ran away.
Yeah, it's trying to. It's this source code management sometimes is
Oh,
annoying.
I see what you're saying.
Um,
So it sees it as a boy. You got to learn all these new extensions, huh? WWH and
no, not really, because you
they do they
you,
do it
you don't.
automatically.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, see that's WDR now. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
each element of the project has different extension, because actually they are not inside of the project. Yeah, I don't have record, because actually I don't have I think customer types. So we don't have any result. But I think you have the idea. That's
Yeah,
the
you can
most
test it
important.
right there and then make
Yeah,
sure it's
exactly.
doing
Exactly.
what you
Normally,
want.
you can test everything: the queries, the report, the window, the page, even the global procedures. You can test it from inside of the project. One thing, nice thing for me is the fact that you can copy and paste a control from the same project. I mean, in the same page, or from one page to another page, from one window to another window, or even from different projects. You can copy and paste controls, and And the good thing is the code that is attached to that control is also copied with the control.
Oh, nice. So it
Something
all
that,
comes.
yeah, that's really cool. That's really useful. It's not that I am copying and pasting controls all the time, of course, but from time to time you need to use the same table, for example, with the same button or something like that, and then you can just copy and paste and change the code if you need to. Or sometimes it's the same code. So that's something that sometimes I try to do in Clarion, and I couldn't, of course. It was a little bit annoying, but we can do it here. And the good thing is, as I said before, you can copy a control from another project and paste it in the page of another different project, and you still will get the control with the same layout and the code. So that's even more interesting, I think.
Yeah. Copying or make a super control, huh? Component. Drop it in.
Yeah, exactly. You can make a you can create a super control. Normally, I create a super control with these three buttons, so I don't have to repeat
Just
the.
drop it in. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And regarding the controls, we can also copy the style of the control.
Huh.
So this is just easy. You go here and say copy the style, and
So
then
do
it
you
just
use
select.
control templates a lot then? So you can like drop those three as a one
Control
super
template,
control.
yes, I have an in this project actually. In this project in version 14 still, and I have some, for example, for the buttons for the form. This is I would just change the language, and this is also interesting. I think I didn't talk about this yesterday. I can't remember, but you can see or display the pages on the control in any of the language you are actually using in your project. So I can switch from Danish to English, for example, and see my controls in
Oh,
Danish
so I
or in
can put
English.
all
Because sometimes
64 and pick the ones with the biggest names, and then I know what size they
exactly,
need to be.
exactly. That exactly that was the point. Because sometimes you have some text that are too big
Yeah,
and
if
they
it's
don't fit.
German, it might be
So
huge. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Or sometimes you are missing the translation or in one of the control, and then you can have an overview and figure it out what you have to fix. And I have another one with the buttons for the update, for example, with the code and everything. No, I don't have the code. I'm lying. And I don't know, for example, to pick up the period from two selection of a so this is a table where you can select individually rows, or you can select all or unselect all, for example. I
Oh,
use this.
nice.
I create this because I have to use this in almost 90% of my pages, because it's something regarding the filters of the data. So
Right.
I I figured out it was more easy to create this control template and then just drop it in all my pages. And if I have to change something in my control template, I can do it here and then refresh the control template and refresh all the pages, and then all the changes will be included and merged into my pages.
So that's a big advantage of the templates is
Yeah.
because you got one place you change it instead of copying and pasting, you just do it all in one place.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main advantage. And
And
for
the
example,
super component can be inside of that template too, right? So it can be
yeah, but
all.
the difference between the super control and the control template, as I have read, because I never use super control, is that you cannot change it, I think.
Oh, it's one time. You just drop
Yeah.
it on. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the main difference. That's why I always use control.
Template.
Yeah.
Control templates. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But what I was saying before is I was talking about copying the style of control. Uh, Sometimes, for example, you are playing with a control and then you define the style. We have the style here, the style of the font, the caption, and background of the button, for example. And then you say, "Oh, I really like how it looks. So how can I make my buttons to look the same?" And well, you can do it in two ways. You can copy the style from one to the other one, just using Control Shift C or going to the menu here. Just copy the style and then you just click in the other control and just paste the style. So then all the controls look the same. You don't have to go to each button, for example, and define again the caption, the image, and so on. And copy this one, for example, Control Shift C, and then you can just click. You can press the Control and click, 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 and then you have all the buttons with the same style.
Really?
Yeah, really. Yeah, and you can copy. This copy you can do it between two control of the same time or two control of different types if you want. But in this case, only the style characteristics that are common to both controls are copied, of course. And you can do it with controls belonging to the same window or between controls that belong to different windows if you want. So let's say I can go here and create a button. Here it looks ugly, so then I go here and I say Control Shift C, go here and then I click. Now the button looks the same. Right?
So you just hit Control C to copy, and it knows to copy the style.
Copy the style, exactly, and then you go to the other page, just click here.
Oh.
Just do it again. Control Shift C.
Oh, Control Shift C?
Control Shift C, exactly.
Okay.
And then you go to the other page, and then you have the button, just click over, and you got the style. Same style.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep smiling.
Yeah, of course. Always. Always smiling. Well, not always.
Yeah.
I will tell you a secret. Sometimes, just few times from time to time, the IDE crash, but it's just sometimes. Once in a while. So, this is one way to do it, but I don't think this way is smart because every time you add a button, you have to go and copy the style. That's not smart. What we can do instead is define the default styles for each type of control, right? So in WebDev, actually WebDev, the IDE create a CSS file, cascade sheet style file with all the different styles that we have defined in our project. So what we can do actually is go to the page. I will try to show you here in this project because I think I have it. This is 14 actually. Just let me go here. I will close this one and I will open another project. What we are going to see now is how to define the default CSS styles. to define the default style for each kind of control. So every time that you create a new control, for example, every time we create a new button, the button will look the same. So we don't have to copy and paste the style manually, because it doesn't make sense. So then we go here to page styles and define the default CSV style. Here. So what we have here on the left, this is all the list of all the styles that I have already defined and created in my project. For example, I used to use, in the name of the style, I used to use, for example, has a prefix, the prefix of the data type. For example, L and K means link. So all my link controls will have this style. And this TBL belongs to a table. This is the style for the caption of the table. This is the style for the column table, the column title of my tables. This is for all the rows, for the selection, for the even rows. This is just a text in blue. This is not text in blue. This is a normal text. So these are all the styles that I have defined in my project so far. And here on the right, we have the list of all the controls, all the type of controls that we can use in WebDev. So if I say, for example, if I go here to text and I select this style, I can go, for example, to the edit control, and I can say, well, I want my edit control, the style by default is this one. So I just validate. Now, every time I create an edit control, it will have this style, this one. And the same for the static. And just
So those are all the elements that need some kind of styling, and so you're just defining all the styling for the different elements, right?
yeah, you're defining the default style for the different kind of control that that we have. For example, here we have, you can see we have this green. That means this control now. Before it wasn't green, but now it's green. That means the style that I'm selecting now, this one on the left, is the style used actually in this kind of control, in the edit control. But if I select another one, you can see it changed to red, because red means that I have already defined default style for the edit control, but it's not this one, or this one, or this one. It's this one. Right?
Whoa.
This is why I changed. This is why I changed the color. This is green. When I change, it's red, because it doesn't match.
Doesn't pertain to it. Doesn't pertain to it, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And the blue is the one that I select. So we can do that for all the controls, combos, links, tables, list box, calendar, whatever.
Oh, I see. So if I have two of the same type, like there would be like green, green, green. Or...
Yes. If, for example, I think I did that before. No, just let me select this one, and then I say validate. Oh, this. Then I have to move on. Let me see if I close. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see now it's just selecting this one, the edit control, because
Because it pertained to both of those.
both exactly. That's the point. Exactly. No, that makes sense, right? So you
Yeah.
already have defined the default styles, and then you don't have to worry about that. And if you change one of the styles, let's say that you say, okay, no, I don't like this font, or I don't like the size because it's too small or it's too big, I want to change it, then you just change here the style, and then all the controls using that style also will change, of course, automatically. So you don't have to go window by window or page by page and change manually the style of the control. Done automatically.
So you did that for one page or for the whole project?
Now this is for the whole project because these are all the styles defined in all the project.
Mm-hmm.
This is the style defined in all the project, and this is the list of all the controls that you can use in your project. All kind of control. So every time I create an edit control in any page, it will use this style here.
So you make that adjustment, and that's just your default one. So if you
Yeah.
can go steal somebody's or borrow somebody else's style, you can say use this style sheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this
And
basically is creating the style sheet, right?
exactly. That's what I mean before. And you can we can even go to the here to the I think it was inside of this one. Yeah, you can see inside of
So that's
my
your
web.
CSS right there. Okay.
This is my CSS, and if we open and try to edit this one, you can see the name
Okay.
of the styles. You can see the name of the style, for example, text copyright, text title line. Those are the names that I have here.
Yeah. So if I go
And
into the file, I can make changes and it would reflect here.
if you make the changes here manually,
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not sure about that. I can't tell
Not a
that.
good idea.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I have never done that. But what you can do actually is you can exchange this CSV file with someone else or within your project, and
Yeah, your group.
you can
Yeah.
you can send this one and then you can send this one to someone and then you can include this here in your project. I think it was here. The free CC. You can add the style sheet here if you want.
Yeah, let's go get some free ones.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay.
That's good. So let's talk about the table control because I think it's one of the most, I don't know if one of the most interesting, but one of the most used control. This is the table control is like the leaks boxes that we have in Clarion, but they have much more functionality. And then I will show you now.
Yeah, much more out of the box, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. The source code manager sometimes is good if we have like the tables are used basically to show rows of information, right? Like the leaks boxes, and we can use the table that has memory tables. We can browse tables or files having direct access. We can access to the files, or we can use a query, for example, as a source data. I mean, or we can browse the tables, loading the table in memory manually, for example. So here, in the content of the table, we can decide which kind of table we want. We want to fill up the table by programming or with a file or with a query. And one of the built-in features we can say is the column search. You can define for each column. You can tell if the column has to be sort, if we need to have a search, if we need to adjust the column, or you can define that for all the columns if you want to. In WinDev, not in WebDev, but in WinDev, you can even change the column order by making a drag and drop. Actually, that's also by default. In the tables, we can have a single or multiple selection of rows. Also, we can select the columns the user wants to see. That is in WinDev tables. Just let me see if I have an example of.
I'm kind of curious how powerful you can do the WebDev one.
Sorry, what?
Oh, can you do that in the WebDev too?
No. You cannot do everything in
Wow,
WebDev.
that would be really cool if you could, huh?
You don't have all the options. No, you cannot hide the columns in WebDev,
No,
unfortunately. No,
bummer.
but you can do it here in WebDev. And you can copy rows, you can export to Excel, Word, XML, print, and you have that option in WebDev also. You can change the order of the columns. See how easy it is. And you can click. And well, in this one, I don't think we have a.
It's pretty smooth, huh?
Yeah, I think so. And this one, we don't have any search, I think. This is just an example. No, we just have.
No searchers. Oh, no magnifying glass.
No magnifying glass, yeah, exactly. Just you can just order ascending or descending order. In version 16, it's even possible to resize the height of the rows. Not only the column width, but also the height of the rows.
Oh, the height of the
The
so
height, the height.
row of the row, huh? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And the good thing about all these features is that to be able to use them in the tables of our application, we don't need to write a single line of code. It's just, as you say before, it's built in, and you only need to check an option in the properties of the control, and that's it. Basically, this is an option here, pop-up menu, and then you have the pop-up menu in the right corner of the table. And
Oh, the good old trace. Nice.
and click.
Oh, there. Oh, at least you got that.
Yeah, you have
Export.
you have the basic one. You can at least export to Excel, Word, XML, or print the PDF.
But you don't.
So
But you don't have the thing to get rid of columns or add columns.
No. I think that's more difficult in web because
Yeah.
you have to build the code to hide the columns in runtime, and I don't know how easy it is to
Yeah,
make
but
that.
for web, that's pretty good. I mean, you have the sort order and you got the search, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have the sort order here, all the columns, and then you can just click.
So if you have a composite key, you would have to add that in to sort by that, right?
You have a composite key.
Yeah, if you had a composite key, I mean, the thing is right now when you sort one column, and the only way to sort something via multiple columns would be to have the
Yeah, you probably have to add. I have to add
composite key.
an option here. You have to add an option here, and
Sort by.
Yeah, sort by, something like that, and then do it by code. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have multiple tables on this page, though. You got one on the bottom, and
I have one. Yes, I have one here. Let me see.
boy, it looks really busy with that magnifying glass, though. I wonder if there's a way to just hide it sometimes. Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
And here I have another one with the. This is the orders that belong to the customer. They have a nice calendar. Can just all the orders. And as I said before, I'm changing the subject now. We have global procedures also here in the project. The global procedures, they are also stored in some kind of set of procedures which are linked to the project. And each set of procedures is also an individual file with the extension WDG. You can perhaps see here, this one. So you can kind of group your global procedure if you want, and create a set of global procedures and put them. In my case, I only have one set of global procedures. So each project can contain at least actually one set of procedures. And this set is the one that is created by default when we create the project, right? And these global procedures, and of course, they can be called from all the process, from all the project code, from all the windows, all the pages, all the local procedures inside the reports, and so on. And the good thing about one of the good things about this is that we can test any of the procedures really easy. Just double click and we go to the code. And then we go here. Then we just need to enter the parameter. Press this button and then we got the results right away. This is an easy way to test our global procedure. I mean, we don't need to create a window or page and add a button and call the procedure or show a message or something like that. We just do it from the code.
Oh, so I see.
Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Run the
I think
test, and it brings that up.
yeah,
You
this
put
this
some test variable in there, and it returns the value.
yeah this function basically is to convert the Clarion the dates to WebDev dates, because we have an old system which is using the dates in Clarion format, and we have to show the dates in WINDEV format. So I need to create this function to do it. And actually, this is something that Mauricio sent me. I think this was from Ben. From Ben.
Bendel.
Regan?
Yeah, Bendel.
Yeah. Ben. Yeah. So and you get the result here right away. So you can check if it's right or not. Okay. What else? What else do we have? Here we have something called external components and internal components. And in version 14, it's just called components. So in version 16, they actually introduced difference between an internal component and external component. But basically, the component is it's a building brick that can be reused in an unlimited number of projects. The component basically give you the possibility to have the identical process or an identical functionality with the same unique source code executing any kind of operation or any kind of task or wherever. And this component can be designed to work in, for example, in WinDev application or in WebDev or in WinDev mobile. I mean, we can have the same component and we can use the same component in a WinDev application, in a WebDev application, or a WinDev mobile application. Exactly the same. WinDev and WebDev, they came with actually some default components we can see here. Actually, they have, for example, a component.
Victor, is that like DLLs or what are they?
No, they are not DLL. The component is basically like a project. Let's say you want to, I don't know, create a component to fax documents or to scan documents. Let's say no fax, because I think fax is old-fashioned. To scan documents, and you want to use that from your WebDev or in your WinDev application. So you just create, let's say, a WinDev project. You add the windows, the global procedures, or whatever you need to, with all the functionality. You pack all the functionality there, and then you compile this as a component.
It's like a library or a class or something that gets compiled in then?
Yeah, exactly. Instead of compile this like an Excel file or yeah, you just compile this or generate this as a component. And then it's just one file that you have to send to, let's say you want to share this component with someone else, you want to sell the component or just want to give away the component to someone. You don't need to send him the code. Actually, you just can keep your code by yourself and you just send the component. And inside that component is built all the functionality. And then the only thing you have to do is include that component inside of your project and use it. And that's it.
I mean, that sounds like a .lib or a .dll though to me.
Yeah, but it's not DLL. WinDev doesn't generate DLL. In fact, you don't have the DLL or the library, the standard DLL or
so
library.
So it acts like a DLL, but it's called something else?
Yeah, I think the extension, it was WDO, something like that.
Data object? No, not data object.
I think it's a WDK.
WinDev object or something.
Yeah, WDK. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. K for component, right? I remember that now. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So, and you can use in your project, you can use as many components as you want actually, and share those components in your projects. And it's really easy. You just go here, workshop, and you just say component, and you just say generate a component, and that's it. And then you have this project generated as a component. And then you can use this component in any of your projects, or you can send this component to someone else and they can use it for free if you want. And yes, and the good thing is you don't need to send your code if you don't want to share your code. You just want to send the component. So the person who actually is using that component can't change the code, can't see the code. You can just call the functions or the routine included in the component, and that's it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but does WinDev also generate the documentation for that component so you can send that along as well?
Yeah, actually, when you send the component, you also send the documentation. Well, let me see. I don't want to use this project, but we can go to project. Oh,
Yeah, just minimize it.
yeah. I think I have to be more patient, but I don't like to wait this source code management. Check in and check out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's why they tell me not to do it remote.
Oh, no.
Otherwise, I'd be waiting.
No, who told you that? No. No, you have to do it. You have to use it, but you have to be patient.
All right. If you say so, I will be.
I think it's pretty good, actually. It can save your life. You can have backup of your applications. And go here, you can click. We have the example component. And if we want to use PayPal, I think we just can, I'm not sure if we can just click and yeah. And as you can see here, this is the documentation of the component. It's just telling you what it means, the component, the list of procedures you have included in the component, how to use them, the global variables. And all this documentation is created automatically when you create the component. I think that was your question, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So this is generated automatically when you generate your when you create your component. Yeah. And of course, this is also this is really useful for the person who is going to use the component, because they need to know actually what is back inside of the component and how to use it. Since you cannot see the code, you need some kind of reference, right?
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's good. Yeah, that's
Might
normally
just
nice.
write those just for myself.
Yeah, yeah, of course. You can write your own components and share those components between your project. And every time if you realize that you need to change the component because you miss something or want to change something, you just make the
One
changes in
place.
yeah, but just be careful because you make the changes in the component, but then you have to compile again, generate again the component, and then take the component and include the component again in your project. I mean, refresh the component in your
Mm-hmm.
project, right? Because you might change some of your code.
Like
Of
yeah,
your
like
code.
add another parameter or something like that, right?
Exactly, exactly, exactly. So coming back to the control templates, that I think they are really useful and really nice. Just want to show you something that might be interesting. For example, this here is a control template. And how can I see that? I don't know if you can see here small yellow squares here.
Yep.
Can you see?
Yep.
Okay, those small squares, it means that those are uh, controls that belong to a control template, and not they are not from the page. Like this one, for example, this one doesn't have anything because this is a control that I add directly to this page. But here below, I also have another control template. But in this one, you can see the squares has another color, some blue or
Oh
violet.
yeah, that means you overrode it, right?
That means that I overload this exactly. For
Yeah.
example,
Okay.
I have changed the position of this, and I have changed the size of the control template because the original one, which is this kitchen here, is just a small one. So then when I use this on my pages, what I do is just resize and change maybe the position of the buttons on the table, right? So that's the difference of the color. But as I said before, the control template is a set of controls that can be reused in several windows on several pages. And then every time we edit or modify the control template, these modifications can be applied to all the windows or all the pages that are actually using this template. So the idea of the control template is just a group, a set of control, which has a specific purpose or a specific functionality. And the idea is to make those controls completely independent of the window or the page that is hosting the control template. And the control template are saved in a file with extension WDT that we can see here. This.
WWT?
WWT, this one. And that means that you can actually copy this one and copy and paste this one, for example, in another project, and include this control template in your project. So if you want to reuse the control template in another project.
Do
And
you have like a more global template area that you can point to, like for all your projects?
you
Or
have
usually you do project by project?
something. Let me remember how to call it.
You know what I mean? If I have a template library that I try and maintain in one place, or class library, rather than having it copied to every project.
You have something called. Let me see. I can find it here.
Might
Control
be
center.
dangerous.
You have control centers. You have like control center where you can actually centralize. I don't know if that's correct the word.
Yeah, okay, okay.
I mean, you can put in those control centers different kind of resources, um, whatever. Any kind of control template style or whatever, and then you can share that in all your projects, and you can share that also with other developers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there
never
are
use it.
a lot more team, teamwork type of stuff in here versus
Mm-hmm.
Clarion. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Non-existent in Clarion, but lots
Mm-hmm.
of stuff
Yeah.
here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another nice thing in the IDE is we have a catalog of images, which we can see. Patients. Um, so the catalog of image that I'm talking about is a catalog of image also built in, and is included in all the product, and it just provide us with a complete catalog of image that we can use in buttons, in tables, in image controls, in our menus or whatever. And the images found in this catalog, they are available in different formats. We have a GIF, BMP, PNG, JPG, etc., etc. We can choose, for example, the style of the image that we want to use. We can search for an image. We can see, we add just image control, and then we go here, and here we have a button to access to
Okay, there's your catalog.
Mm-hmm. And well, it takes a little bit. It has to load all the image. And we have some predefined some images that are already included, but of course we can add our own image or icons to the catalog if we want. And I think since I started developing in WebDev, I have always used 90% of the time I have used the image from this catalog because they are really good, they're really nice.
Are they PNGs or JPEGs or what? GIFs or what?
Yeah, as I said before, you can save the format that you want. It could be a GIF, a BMP, PNG, GPG,
Yeah, lots of them.
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, you can decide which theme or which style. I call it the style. It could be Windows Phone, Active XP, Android, or just black and white. And you can also decide the size.
Oh, goodness.
LCD style, just Active XP, and you have a lot of image. And I think they look really really nice, really good. You maybe don't have all the images you may need, but you can always add your own image or icons, of course. You can also look up by name. Sometimes it doesn't work. And once you select the image, you can decide if you want to keep the size or you want to know size, the number of states. Because, for example, if this was an image that we are going to use in a button, we can have 2 states or 5 states, the different states of the button, normal, selected button, the
Hover over and that kind of
overhead.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And here you can decide the format. By default, it's always PNG.
Okay.
You can change there you have image. Um, I don't know if we still have time.
Well,
Do you have some? I
um,
have a lot of things to talk about, but I don't think we're gonna have the time.
uh,
Um,
if you want to do a little bit more, fine, but I have to get ready for the other webinar.
yeah, because you have a double life.
I got a double life,
You have a double
double
life.
agent.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we can talk about the debugger, which I think is really nice and really easy to use, especially. Um, let's say that I add some code here.
That's right, Pete.
just yeah, just a code break. The idea of the debugger or the debugging weather, I really like it because it's, as I said before, it's easy to use. It's just if you need to check something, you just have to click in the line where you want to create a breakpoint, and then run the program, and then the program will stop there. And then if you want to continue, you just have to click one of the buttons or just press F7 if you want to step into the code or step over. And you can
Yeah,
see,
it's great.
let's try to, let me see if I have some code in this one. The good thing is you can see in this debugger, you can see the value of every variable, even local or global. You can see the queries. You can see the value of the classes, the table, the structures, the result of the command. If you make an seek, for example, you can see the result if it was true or false. Almost everything. So from my point of view.
Yeah, you don't need a stop statement or you don't need a trace. It's all there.
No,
As you
yeah,
step
exactly.
through.
You don't
Yeah.
need you also have a trace here. You can use
Yeah,
a trace.
it's all built in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, let's close.
Check it
Yeah. Every time you close the project, the source code management, and actually ask you to check in all the elements that you have checked out. So at the end of the day, you have a copy of everything, of all your changes. Let's see, for example, this one. Just if I want to see, I wanted to debug, for example, this local procedure. It just click in the line code where I want to set the breakpoint. Then I can just run the application, and then it's just stop here, and then we can go through this OF7. And here below you can see, for example, I have a class. This is an object of one of my class, and if I click, I can see the content of all the elements of my connections, filters, and a lot of stuff I'm saving. I can also see the query, this query that I'm building here. I can see it, and I can, if I want, I can copy the code and paste the code, for example, in SQL Manager to check the code. We can see the result of if it was found or not. You can see here how the values are changing and the results of all the commands that we are executing. Execute query.
Victoria, if you hover over a variable in the code, will it display the value there as well?
The variable in the code,
Or
yes.
if you just hover the mouse over the variable in the code?
Yes, yeah, exactly. Let me show you here, for example. Well, this is the query. This is the variable that I use for my query. Yeah.
Well, that only happens when you're in debug mode, right? Because it needs to be stepping through something to know what the
Yes,
value
yes,
should be.
it's in debug mode. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I go.
Yeah, sweet. That's a real debugger, Brian.
Yes, exactly. The Clarion debugger is really difficult to use and really difficult to understand. I think it took me one day to understand how it works and to set a breakpoint is really difficult because you need to look for the source file. You have to open the source file, look into the procedure that you want to debug, and then look up the procedure, the line code, set the breakpoint, and yeah, it was too complicated. So in the end, I think I used it just a few times, and then it was always jumping into the ABC classes, and yeah, it was a mess.
Very deep. Yeah, it gets
Actually,
very deep.
yeah, actually, it didn't help. It was confusing sometimes, and this one I think is really easy to use and really easy to understand. It has all you need on you.
Hey, Victoria, I gotta stop soon.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, me
and
too.
you've talked for an hour and 45 minutes, which is you're trying to break a record here.
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of great things to share, and this is your
Yeah,
third
yeah,
day, and you're
yeah,
still going after it. So
yeah.
so people
That's
should note that there's tons, right?
that's
Especially
that's
beginners.
that's I think that's what I say in the beginning. There are a lot of things to show about a lot of things to learn about the IDE because it's full of nice things, useful things. Um, but I think you can see the potential. You can see how good is the tool. Um, yeah, maybe in the future we can have another session if I can share more things if you
Okay,
want.
that'd be so good. Hey, I have one question though. In
Mm-hmm.
web dev, if I were to do, in Clarion, how you can get pretty sophisticated building a form.
Mm-hmm.
In web dev, have you built like pretty sophisticated forms, entry forms, maintenance forms, where people go in and you can say if it's this value, that value, just hide it or not hide it or show a group. I know you can do it in WinDev, but in web dev, is that something you do a lot of? Like pretty
Mm-hmm.
sophisticated data entry forms?
Yeah, I'm not sure what do you mean. Do you mean this option in WinDev? How do you call it? Sure. No, I think this option where you can go into the form and you can set some business rules or stuff like that. You
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Do you do that a lot?
No, no in WebDev, and actually I'm not sure if you can do that in WebDev.
Anyway, we'll pick it up on another time. But
Yeah.
no, this is great. Big claps. Thanks for sharing for three sessions here. So I guess we can do a part four, huh? Sometime.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you again, and everybody, thanks for hanging out with us, and we will pick up another time. Don't forget to come to Mauricio's next Friday
Yes.
and watch the website for times because we've changed it a couple of times this week. Sorry about that. Thanks again,
Oh,
Victoria.
thank you. Thank you.
It was
So thank you,
super.
everybody. And until the next time. Bye.
Okay, keep smiling.